Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our first virtual show for the year 2022. And today, my name is Ayomide. Adebisi. I'll be hosting the show for this particular topic. Our topic for today is how girls advocate in Africa breaking education barriers. Yes, so before we go further, we'll be showcasing a video now, which is a video of what our advocates, what girls are saying about education. And so this video will go online now. Will go live now. Okay. So before we go to the video, our guests they'll be available very soon. We'll be introducing our guests very soon as they are available. So today we'll be talking about how girl advocates in Africa are breaking educational barriers. It is no news that a lot of girls in Africa and even beyond are out of school. And even the ones that are in balancing advocacy and education sometimes it could be an extreme sport that it will take a lot of work, a lot of things. And then we are here to speak about how this particular young advocate have been able, to balance the education and also balance the advocacy work, how they've been able to have it all. Okay, I think it was in 2012 that the news broke out about Malala Yousafzai, who was advocating for education, and this advocacy for education actually made her to be limelight, and it made her to be on the spot for terrorism and threats. And then because of this, she got shot in her head. And a lot of people, this was one time that I've come to witness, the unity amongst people around the world, people praying that, she survives that attack. And she actually came out, well, strong, and to a lot of people you feel like, okay, this should deter her, this should keep her from advancing and advocacy, but rather than even give her like a stronger resolve for her to go more and more. And this movement of ours bettered the Malala Fund, which is now catering to education of young girls and women around the world. The story of Malala was so touching because this is a young girl that was born to Pakistani parents and whose father has been inspiring her, to go about education and all. But because of the particular ban in her country, she was prevented from furthering her education. But rather than sit, she went out there and kept advocating for more and more. And because she has created a lot of opportunities for a lot out there to be able to be educated. And this also won her the Nobel Laureate Prize at the age of 17. That was in 2014. You can imagine she's the youngest person to actually win the Nobel Laureate Award. And to this effect, Malala has been able to create opportunities for a lot of people. So education is paramount for both women, girls, boys. Education, it is very paramount. And the talks are going around that probably education is a scam, education is this, education is that. Education is no scam. In fact, it has been said that it is better for you to have the certificate, even though you wouldn't use it, than need it and then you don't. So to this effect, we'll be showing the video now. The video will be going live now. It's a video of our advocates, talking about a lot of things, promoting education, promoting girl child education and the likes.
My name is Ujaku Blessing. I'm a member of Rhealyz Africa Girls Cup.
I love those out there. Do not let people's opinions shape you or determine your future. Do whatever that makes you smile and makes you happy. You are a girl, that girl that fights, that wins, inspires, and imparts life positively. I am here to support you. I am here to have your behalf. Let us join hands in hand so our voice can be heard by a lot of people and even the nation at large.
FGM is a violation of human rights and must never be performed because it has no known beneficial effect in the life of the girl child. Please let's help to stop FGM by advocating about the effects in our community.
Trust me, Rhealyz Africa, you're in safe hands. Because Rhealyz Africa is beyond my limits. It helped me to see it in the has helped me to notice the power in advocacy. Thank you very much, Rhealyz Africa. And so I'm saying to other people out there, if given this opportunity, please do not take it for granted.
During this lockdown, the pandemic, how to make sell goods and also get to know more about myself.
Oh dear family, believe in me. Dear nation, believe in hers. Oh dear Africa, believe in your girls. Because we have vision, we have dreams, we have mission. We would make a better tomorrow because our voice is a
So girls, do not sit down and watch others rule you. Do not be silent to anyone because you are a girl child. You might be still 4-letter words, but you are great. You might be still 4-letter words, but you are still the best. Let us all join hands and fight for the right of our girl child in order to change the world.
Okay, welcome back from that break. And that was some of our girl advocates who are also students talking about, what matters to them the most. We see lots of them advocating for education. We see them advocating for an end against female genital mutilation and the likes. Okay, so today we'll also be engaging our guests from Zambia. We have Sopani and also Chanda. We'll be engaging them from Zambia and Feranmi Omolade from Nigeria. Yeah, these are young women, young girls who've been able, to balance the advocacy work with their education, and it has really, gone a long way. We're going to be discussing about how they've been able to, balance it and have it all. There's this old saying that some people will tell you that you should pick your struggle, choose your struggle. If it's education, you won't follow it. If it's advocacy, you won't follow it. And then they begin to, try to create a situation whereby you cannot have it or you cannot choose this. It's either you go for this or that. But now we're here to rule out the school of thought and tell everybody that you can actually, be very good at your education and also be very good at advocacy, just like Malala has made it possible. This story of Malala, like I was saying before the break, has given a lot of hope to young girls that if Malala could achieve this at such a tender, at such a young age, I also can do it. And the support that she has given to a lot of people has also made education possible for a lot of young girls, even in our home country. Our home country, where education was banned for young girls, now because of Malala, a lot of girls have had this opportunity, to go further, to be able to further their education. So we'll also be talking about advocacy and also like the limitations. We'll be having our guests share with us some of their limitations, the limitations they've come across, cultural limitations, educational limitations, and then sometimes to parents, for a lot of parents, most times they will be like, okay, I sent you to school, please just face what I sent you to go and do. Don't do anything else. But then along the way, probably the girl found advocacy, and then they'll tell you that I don't want anything interfering with your education. I don't want anything interfering with your academics. Your primary your primary reason for going to school is for you to be educated. So it's either your education or nothing. But then we have, like our guests today, they are living testimonies of people that have been able, to go through it all and have it all. So I think Sopani is ready for us. Hello, Sopani. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Hello.
I'm alright, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing
Hello?
very well. It's nice to have you here. Hello, can you hear me?
I can get
Hello.
you.
You can get through. Okay. It's nice to have you
Hello?
here again. Hello.
Okay, we're having a bit of a network problem here.
Okay. The network isn't so strong over there, but I believe you can hear me though.
I'm getting you now.
Okay. So before I start engaging you in the topic for today, I would love to welcome our audience. Welcome to the show. It's our first Loud It series for the year 2022, and I want you to support us with your engagement. And if you're online, you can show us your best emoji to show that you're following this discussion. Okay, I think we have Chanda too. Okay, so Sopani, over to you. So how has it been? How is life in Zambia? How is your education? How is your family? How is everything going? I think the network is really bad. Let me see. Hello, Chanda. Are you there? Oh. I think the network is really, really bad. So personally for me, I would say advocacy. Advocacy actually found me. Well, for a long time, I already knew I was going to do something related to advocacy and the likes. But the thing is, for you to be an advocate, most times you have to have a learning ground, a learning ground, a field, or someone or somebody or a group that you're affiliated to, through which you can lend your voice. So for a long time, I thought that was the main thing you must. If you don't have a group, you don't have a crowd, you don't have this, then you can't do advocacy. But over the years, I've come to learn that you personally, you are your own voice, and just tweet, just a little tweet, a little write up, a little poem here and there can actually go a long way. And that advocacy is not in the number of people it's able to reach, but rather it's the number of people it's able, the number of lives it's able to touch. Sometimes you can, make a video and post it out there online, and then it's reaching like maybe thousands of individuals but not making an impact. And you can just post it out there and probably you just see like maybe 7 engagements, but who knows, this could have impacted like 2 people. And these 2 people go out there, it has impacted them, they also impact maybe 2 other people, and before you know it, it's like a chain, a cycle, and before you know it, it's spreading out there. And the day you least expect is the day that maybe it will just go viral. Most times all these viral videos, you just see them like, okay, boom, the thing just went viral like that. It's not like maybe because it's just that one day. It has gone over a lot of processes and like that. So for me, advocacy, I would say I found advocacy because it has always been there. It has always been there. I just needed this push, this nudge there, this platform for it to come to life. And in fact, Rhealyz has made me, like, has given me that platform I really needed. And with that, today I can also classify myself as an advocate. And then balancing it with my academics, well, it was the time I started advocacy was it was a break between my I am a break from higher institution and then my service year to do my nation. And so I can't really say it really affected my academics like that. But then, even though I was in school, I think I would still have found a way to balance it up. And from coming from the angle of my parents, well, they are really very excited about the kind of work I do, which Rhealyz, and they feel like it has even helped me, to build self-esteem, to build communication, even much more effectively, up to the point that I can now even host or moderate an online show. And then, so to the caregivers, to parents, to students, I would say if you feel advocacy is what you want, then you should go for it. Because in the meanwhile, you're not only changing your own life, you're changing the lives of people that are coming behind you. Like imagine a young girl who has been, prevented from going to school and the likes, and then probably she found advocacy and she was able to, open up the way for herself. She's not only opening that way up for herself, but even for younger ones that are coming behind her, younger siblings, she's giving them opportunity at life too. Okay, I think Sopani is back. Let me try and see if the network will be perfect. Hello, Sopani. Hello. I think network is still very much bad. And I think Sopani is still, the network is still very much bad for Sopani. And I think Feranmi, okay. Okay. Okay, so our guests are not yet ready. So I would love to engage the audience. If you have any story about an African girl who has been able, to go against all odds and broken barriers when it comes to education, you can also show us by, putting it in the comments box. Drop your comments and let us know what happened. Okay, so for me, the Malala story was actually very relatable too because she's somewhat of my age range. So when the story broke the net that a girl was shot and 3 times and the bullet penetrated her head, I was like, okay, what would make a girl that young, to put herself in place, like to put herself in line of attack? But then I discovered that advocacy goes beyond just because I'm told to do it. It goes way beyond that. It is something that drives you. And when something drives you, then nothing can take it away from you. And that is why even after, despite the attack, she was still able to, go for it. And this has paved way for a lot of people. Okay, I guess Feranmi is ready now. So let's take Feranmi. Hello, Feranmi. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Hello. Oh, network. Hello, Sopani.
Hi.
Okay, I guess the network is better now.
Yeah, at least I've just moved out because it's really.
Okay, thank you for making time. Still, despite the network issues, you're still able to, keep up with it. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. We're trying.
Okay, how is life? How are your parents, and how is the academics over there?
My parents are just fine, and everything is okay.
All right, that's good. So, shall we delve into the topic right away? Are you ready
Okay,
for
sure.
us? Okay, so
I'm
I think the first
ready.
question, yes. The first question here says, did you find advocacy or did it find you? Did you find advocacy or did it find you? So we just want to, what sparked your interest in advocacy. Is it something that over the years you've known that, okay, in all, I'm going to do something related to advocacy? Or it was something that a series of events happened that later pushed you into it?
uh, because I was really looking for it and it found me. Because I had the interest even before I knew of advocacy and everything. I had that interest of advocating. So it was we more like bumped into each other. Like we met and I was like, yo,
Okay, you bumped
that's
into
what I
each other. I
needed.
like that.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So
So
it
what
found
has
me
your
waiting
experience
for
been?
it. My
Okay.
experience has been good and bad because everything has got two sides, good and bad. But it has been very good since I started. I can't complain. It has really been very good.
Okay. So any bad experiences at all?
Mm, yeah, they're there, but it's just to put up with the positivity because the community and everything. There are a lot of talent because not everybody is going to understand you to say, okay, this is what I've chosen. This is advocacy and
Mm,
everything. A lot of criticism and they're like, but I just remained with that positivity to say this is what I want and I'll do it. Yeah.
mm. So it has been because you like it, because you guys bumped it. So that has been what has been keeping you, like pushing you, right?
Yeah, I just had that passion.
Mm. Okay,
Yes.
so I would like to ask for that. Do you think advocacy actually works? Because a lot of times when we do advocacy work, and then most times the replies, the response is not reaching a lot of people. It feels as if what you are doing isn't making sense. You get? It feels like what you're doing isn't making sense.
Yes.
Did that deter you in any way? So do you think advocacy actually works?
It works. In it work and I've experienced it and I'm really experiencing it. It really works. Yeah.
So that is really nice. So can you share some of your success stories with us?
Um like which one? Community, school, which one should I start with?
Okay, you can start with the school.
Uh my experience has been okay. It has been really been good and successful because what I was doing at school, it fell under advocacy because a lot of things that I was doing at school, it made me advocate more, yeah, to
Okay.
my people, to my teachers, my friends, yeah. So that was what was also giving me that passion to continue at everything because it worked. Because it started with me. Advocacy should start. You can't
Yeah.
push out it hasn't worked for you. So it worked for me after somebody advocated to me, and I was like, okay, I'm doing this. So that's when I started. So it has really been good. My experience has really been good because I've learned a lot over these 5 years. I've really learned a lot. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so I think you were saying something about like some things you faced in school actually pushed you into advocacy. So what are some of these things that you have faced that has pushed you into advocacy?
Uh, okay. At school, I was back in secondary school. I was
Okay.
I was doing a lot. Like I had a lot of roles to play. I was the head girl, the
Mm.
Jets president, debate president, and scripture chairperson. So through those clubs, I would advocate to everybody that I was in my area of being a leader, like being a leader of the school against my fellow people. It really helped a lot because from there that's when I had to set a platform because I was
Okay.
being found with of different people of different races, backgrounds, and so it really helped a lot.
Um.
Hello,
Okay. Can you still hear me? Hello. Hello. Hello,
yes,
Sopani.
hello,
Okay, I can
I
hear
can
you.
get
I
you
wanted to.
now.
Hello. Can you hear? Okay. Okay. So I picked from your. um, I picked from your comment that you said you were the head girl, the president of the Jazz Club, the debate club, and still you were able to advocate. That is that is some that is something huge. Like it is really a lot of interest in just one person. So how were you able to balance this? Because doing advocacy for your other interests and also still balancing it with your academics, and then the news have it that you graduated one of the top students in your school, and your papers, everything, you cleared it at once. So what's the secret? How are you able to balance everything together?
Okay, like I just used to set time to say this is for this time is for this time is for this time is for this. I just had to share time. I had time for everything, like time for
Mm,
books, time for advocate, time for doing this, time for going for jets and everything. Because in all of them, I used to learn a lot. Like being a leader at school,
mm,
it gave me those skills to people and like leading people. Debate, I had skill of thinking fast, thinking sharp. It's those were sciences, as you know. So at least I used to get knowledge in all of them. And when it comes to my academics, I've really tried. Like I started my foundation when I just entered the secondary school. That's when I started
mm.
my foundation. And
Wow,
with me, I
that's
started
beautiful.
with my secondary school at the middle of the term because there were no finances by then. So
Mm,
as I started my foundation from there. I started studying before even reaching my final grade and everything. So I started my foundation. I had to lay my foundation first before all this started because
mm,
you can't lay a foundation when you reach the final stage. You need to make a foundation before even the building starts. I used
mm,
to make time for school when I go off like that. I would reach home, I would wash my uniforms, I would eat, rest, and start cooking. After that, after finished cooking everything, I used to clean the plates before going to school, before sleeping.
uh,
So I would wash the plates and I would really get tired. Like, okay, I'm getting tired. So what I used to was I used to wake up about 03 a.m. That's the time that I
well,
usually
that
used to.
that's
When I
really
wake up
nice.
that
I
time,
feel everybody could adopt that.
I would study from 0 a.m. up until the time that I'll be going to school. I got shoes. I would
Mm,
sacrifice my time and everything. I'm making a foundation for my future and like that. So I got shoes because I started it when I reached the final grade and everything. So it helps me. So it just became like a lifestyle. So I got added to everything that I was doing. I used to balance it. I used to balance time. It's just balance, and it really helps. It's just to set your mindset to say, okay, this I need to do this at
Yeah.
this time. This I need to do at this time,
Mm.
and I need to do it at this time. So choose like that, and it really worked for me, and it was really comfortable. So people were asking to say,
Hello. Oh,
because here in
okay.
Zambia
Okay.
we close
Hello, can you
like
hear
for
me?
6 months, and yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Hello,
okay. I didn't get the last point, so I would love if you. Hello,
hello,
hello, Sopani. Hi.
I can get you.
Okay, so I said I
Okay,
didn't get your
yeah.
last point, so I would love you to repeat. Yeah.
What was I even saying? Okay. um okay, yeah, it really works. So as here in Zambia, we close school a lot because our grade 11 we closed for 6 to 7 months, and the grade 12 again closed for so long. And then people are like, why did you manage? Like, how did you even clear? Because you didn't learn that much in school. There was no much to be learning and all that. And I was just telling to say, I just laid the foundation before all this
Mm.
happens. It's really helped me a lot. Yeah.
Well, that is really interesting. Laying your foundation and effective time management and focus has really helped you, and I'm glad it
Yeah.
has. So I think I'll let it go on a short break now while I bring Feranmi on board. So,
Okay.
hello, Feranmi, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Good evening.
Okay, how is everything?
Fine. And
I don't know
you?
if you're able to watch Sopani. She has been giving us like a brief rundown of how she has been able to balance advocacy and education. So I would also
Okay.
love to ask this question. Did advocacy find you or did you find advocacy?
Okay. Advocacy found me because while I was still a little child, I never ever heard of the word advocacy before, even thought of being an advocate. But when Realize Africa came to our school and told us about what they do, everything, and so I found there was this interest in me to know more. There was this thing, curiosity, that I wanted to know more about the organization, what they do, and along the way I joined, and that's how I just found advocacy and I became an advocate. So advocacy found me.
So how
Oh,
has the
yeah.
experience been so far?
It has been fine. It has been so like it has been a great journey though, and I really appreciate the fact that Realize Africa came to our school and enlightened us about what they do, and I was able to join them back then when I was in secondary school.
Hmm. Okay, so you said advocacy found you. So what are some of the highlights, like the high points of it that actually made it stand out for you that you were like, okay, this is what I want to do, that made you go for it?
Okay, the first meeting we had in school when I joined the club, because it started as a club in my school. So when I joined, the
Okay.
first topic we were taught that was on female genital mutilation. And I was like, wow, so this even existed, because I've never heard about female genital mutilation before. So when I found out that this female genital mutilation is something that I never knew it even existed. That was female genital mutilation. When I saw that something like this exists and we need to talk about it, tell people about it, that it has to stop, because there was no benefit to practicing. There was no benefit to practicing female genital mutilation. So that topic really caught my attention, and I wanted to know more apart from FGM. What are the other challenges girls go through? So how I can be a voice for other girls out there, how I can be able to speak out on their behalf and not just at home, because sometimes when you hear about these cases of rape on the TV, and the
Yes.
only thing I can do is just sit down and be like, I wish I could just leave that man and strangle him and those kind of stuff. But when I now saw the platform for me to be a voice, I had to like grab the opportunity and not miss it. So that's how I joined. That was what really propelled me to be a voice for other girls out there.
Okay, okay, that's really interesting. Let me go back to Sopani. I'll come back for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Sopani, welcome back. Hello, Sopani.
Hello.
Okay, that was Feranmi from Nigeria. She's also a realized media advocate, and she has been able to balance her education with her advocacy too. And just like you, she just finished a senior school education. So before we're talking about advocacy and the like, so what are some of the limitations in your community, like that you face in your community, in your culture, that has like really brought about limitation to your advocacy work?
Uh, okay, there have been some limitations in communities because not everybody will hear you out because some of us are ladies or girls like that. So it's like limitation because they don't consider much the voice of the girl child unless it's
Mm,
a man. Yeah. So also
yes.
the tradition of communities, they also contribute to our limitations because if they give us an ear to listen, they don't. Yeah, patient.
Okay, I can relate with this so well because sometimes too in Nigeria, when a girl, lends her voice to a particular cause, the kind of crowd it will pull and generate might not be as much as when it was the man. And so this is why we keep calling on a lot of people. Let the advocacy, let it be equal, you get.
Mm-hmm.
So, parents most times too often frown at like the involvement of their children, especially their girls, when it comes to advocacy. So, have you at any point in time ever experienced this? Have you ever experienced this situation whereby your parents are like, okay, what is this with this advocacy? Just stop it, for now, stop it. Have you ever faced that kind of situation? Uh, okay.
Hello?
So, when you told your hello, I can hear you. You
Hello?
said not really.
Yeah, not really
Hello,
because
Sopani.
my parents now. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Hello? Okay,
Hello,
yes. The reason why I'll say is hello?
I can hear you.
Hello? Okay, yes. The reason why I've said no is that my parents, they are my biggest support. My dad, in fact,
Okay.
because he really encourages me. Because when I started all this, he was like, "I'm proud of you, continue that." So he was giving me support all the way, starting from just the foundation. He really encourages me to say, wherever that you go, should leave a legacy behind. That's he always tells
Mm,
me. So at least that also gave me that faith, and it really boosted my faith to do, to be passionate with what I'm doing. I was getting a lot of support, and my family always supports me. Yeah.
wow, that is really, really interesting. So, what about your teachers? Your teachers too, were they able to support, or were they posing limitations too?
No, they were also supporting back then in school because the teachers also really helped me because I was getting ideas from them. If I don't know, or maybe I don't know much information over something, I would ask them and they would tell me, go for it, do it. And they'll give me that now. They were my greatest support also because they also encouraged me. They really pushed me forward. Yeah, they were like my support to me back then in school.
Well, that is interesting. It's actually very nice to know that you've received support all around, and I hope you continue to receive more of this support. So that will make me like tweak this a little bit. Like, okay, so how has advocacy helped you with your friendships? The kind of friends you have made. How has advocacy helped you with your friendships?
Ah, it has, but though some friendships were breaking because when you advocate to them the right thing, they would frown and say, "No, we don't need this." They want that you're advocating for. So some used to stay, some, but the ones that have stayed, they're the ones that also helped me to grow, and I advocated to them, and they heard. Those who were not of that, they just left. And I was comfortable because easier, because couldn't have a burden of friendship again, and well, at least I'm advocating like that. So it's didn't. So
Hello. Hello, Sopani. Okay, I think our network is really bad. Okay, let me check if Chanda is ready.
my circle,
Hello,
I
Chanda.
just maintained it for it.
Oh, Sopani, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, okay. So you said you had to let go of some friendships because your values were not just on the same level, right?
Hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello, Sopani. I can hear you.
I can hear you. What
Okay,
was your
so I
question?
was talking about. I said you had to let go of some friendships because your values were not, you know, on the same level, right?
Mm-hmm. They were not.
Okay. So what about making of new friends? Because in the journey of advocacy, most times you cannot do it alone. You have to, have a host of support who will also, help you to, preach this word you have, help you get it across board. So how are you looking, forward to making new friendships that will actually support your advocacy work?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because I've got that passion of advocating. So the same passion as I, and all that, it could be good, and I could learn from them and they could learn from me. Because if I'm dominant like this to say I advocate, so I don't need knowledge, it won't really help me. So I would really need help and connection at this time. Yeah.
Oh well, realize is ready. Realize is always available for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, on a final note, what advice would you give to parents and caregivers when they have children that show interest in advocacy? What advice would you give to them?
Repeat your question again.
I said on a final note, what advice would you give to parents and caregivers who have children that show interest in advocacy?
They should just support them, give them that support. I know some communities wouldn't say them that support that they need. If I get support from somebody, it would give me that interest and that passion to say, okay, I could back up behind. Even though things go wrong, I would ask for help from these people. So just encourage them with what they like and with what they want. 'Cause that's their passion. You may not know. Maybe that's where connections come from and destiny helpers they come from. So they just give them that sort and let them do what they want to do.
Mm,
Yeah.
that is really nice. It was nice to have you on today's show. And so far so good. We are proud of you. We are super proud of you because the because of the heights you've been able to attain with balancing advocacy, balancing education, especially in this dispensation and in Africa. We know it could be an extreme huge sport, but then for you to have been able to balance everything, juggle it together, and still come out with very valuable results. It is from us, we say big kudos to you, and we expect more and more from you in future, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
So we look forward to having you on more subsequent editions, to deliver value as always.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care of yourself. Okay. So Sopani has been able, to give us how, like, an insight into how she has been able to balance her education and advocacy. She talked about how she found advocacy and advocacy found her, and then she used the word. She said she bumped into advocacy, and then so far so good. Her parents, especially her father, has been her biggest support. When we have children that love advocacy, or you find out that they have an interest in a particular subject, we should always help them. We should always give them support, give them, is it the knowledge? If we can provide for the knowledge, maybe in forms of books and classes, let us endeavor to give that to them. If it is in support, like maybe people, like a platform, creating a platform where their voice can get out there, let us also be of huge help to them. So, and then she was able to, like, reiterate so much on the fact that she was able to make it successful both in academics and in advocacy through time management. So she kept hammering on one word. She was like, she was able to work on it right from the foundation, that the foundation matters. So to everybody out there, young or old, I believe whatever we want to do, we should spend time with it. Time management, effective time management is very paramount. Also, working on your foundation is not when it has gotten to the peak that you now want to start juggling things. It might not stand. But if you've started working from the scratch, you'll be able to know how to balance everything and to still come out a success. So over to Feranmi. Hello, Feranmi.
Hello, good evening.
Okay, welcome back. So you were giving us a really interesting story of how advocacy found you, and the particular subject, female genital mutilation, that got you so much. So over the time, how would you say? Okay. I would love you to give like a brief repeat of how you said advocacy found you, right?
Okay, yes.
So I'd love you to give like a brief repetition of how it found you, and the experiences you've made over the years in which you've been advocating, and how these experiences have been for you.
Okay. So, like, it all started when I was in SS1, precisely, in
Okay.
secondary school. So, I realized Africa came to our school. That was on the assembly ground, and they told us what they do, what their aims are. So, that caught my attention, like, based on what they said. So, our counselor was like, we should write our names, those of us that are interested, because it started as a club in the school. So, they said we should write our names and give it to the class captain. So, I wrote my name, and then the class captain submitted. So, on the first meeting we had, they talked about the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. They gave us the first 7. Then during that particular meeting, they talked about female genital mutilation. So when Miss Praise took us about the definitions, the reason why it has to be stopped, and I was like, wow, so this even exists. So the only thing I thought that the challenges that girls face, some of the challenges I thought girls faced back then was rape, child marriage, and I thought that was all. But I never knew there was more that the girl child will face. So talk about female genital mutilation. And that really caught my attention. I was like, wow, so female genital mutilation exists. So, and I wanted to know more about the club, about Rhealyz Africa, and how I can be a voice. Because sometimes when I hear the news on radio that the girl was raped, I'm like, what's wrong? That why would a man rape a girl child? I'm like, I wish I could just sit down my right now and give me a slap or something there about. When I see that there was a platform where I could speak out, talk, and express myself, then I said, oh, I need to join Rhealyz Africa and be an advocate, be a voice for other girls out there who don't have the voice to speak.
That is really interesting. That's a very interesting story, and honestly, nobody who is actually in their right sense and mind will actually hear of brutality. I wouldn't wish he or she could do something better. So over the years, would you say advocacy works? Does advocacy
Yes,
work?
It works.
Okay, so can you share like okay.
Okay, yeah.
Go on.
So there was this time I posted on my WhatsApp status about what FGM is about, because I was this passionate about putting a stop to female genital mutilation. So I posted on my WhatsApp status what FGM is all about, the consequences, that the long-term effects it has on the women, on the girl child, And then someone was like, he never knew. He was like, he never knew such practice ever existed. Like it was like kind of funny and was like, does such even exist? So it was like, since you know it exists now, he would try to speak up when he has the opportunity to speak up, to tell people about it. He will tell others about it. And also during one of the school outreach we had at my alma mater, which is St. Louis Secondary School. I mean, there was this outreach we had to conclude the 16 days of activism. So we were able to reach out to some girls, and based on the feedback we got from them, I was like, yeah, like we're already reaching out, like people are already getting to know what FGM is all about. And they were like, okay, they also tell others about it. Since they already know what FGM is all about, why it should not be practiced, why it has to stop. So they said they will tell other people about it, and through that, the message keeps going and everybody gets aware. There's this awareness about FGM and stuff like that.
Okay. So I think with that, you've been able to actually reach a particular population of people, and you'll be amazed at how far it can reach when it comes to advocacy. So, what are some of the challenges that you faced when it comes to advocacy?
Okay, there's one challenge that I faced was, when it comes, advocacy is like, it involves the video where you have to do video, the video stuffs on it where you talk to people, and then the podcast and stuff like that. But usually the type of phone I have, it's kind like the quality of the camera is not that good. So I had issues with that. And so, but when the time I have the opportunity, like when we gather together, we Rhealyz Africa, and you have the opportunity to like speak out, like use the audio and like me the podcast and the video, I got those opportunities so that, because I know once I get home, I might not be able to use my phone to record such videos and audios. So I jump at such opportunities. And also, I still remember when I was writing, preparing for my exam, my mom was like, Feranmi, you're already preparing for your exam, or you have to stop advocacy, like stop anything relating to advocacy for now. I was like, wow. But you have to listen to your parents, and because they want the best for you. So I had to like stop at that point. And by the time I came back, it was as if I had to start over again, start the training and everything, because sometimes when I want to write, I'll be like, maybe I was asked to come up with a short content on so topic, and then there was no idea, nothing to write on, and I was like, who would I start from? What should I write? And it's like the old ideas keep coming back, and you need new ideas to form. You don't have to keep repeating the old ideas. So like I had to start. Where would I start from? And thanks to Rhealyz Africa, they really helped me in that area by engaging me in more trainings, which would help me bring back that skill that has been lost for a while. So that's what I wanted to like. Those are the challenges that I had, and I was able to overcome them. I can't hear, like there's a break. So, so that is how it all. Those were some of the challenges I had, and I was able to overcome them through the support of Rhealyz Africa. Because I remember, like I said the other time, during the time I was preparing for my exam, I had to like stop activities concerning advocacy, so as to prepare adequately well for exams. So because my mom asked me to like take a break from anything called advocacy, and by the time I came back, it was as if I had to start the training over again, because there was this loss of ideas of what to write, what to say, especially when coming up with short content on topics that were given to me to come up with. So it was so distant. Thanks to Rhealyz Africa, they really grew by engaging in some trainings which were so helpful, and I'm very thankful to them for that. That was how I was able to overcome the challenges I had.
Okay, so because of the network just went off. So that is why I'm here. So like we were discussing, you were talking about your parents, how they said
Yes,
this is stop some of it.
Yeah.
So how were you able to communicate your interest to them and let them know that okay, because I'm doing advocacy does not mean I can't balance this with my education, it doesn't mean it can't work. So how were you able to communicate your passion and interest to them?
Like what happened during that period, like what I said was I was preparing for my exam, so like they had to cut me short. But when I started advocacy at first, when I started joining Rhealyz Africa and doing the club meetings, I told them, okay, this is what they do. There was even a flyer they gave to us to show to our parents, so as to explain better to them. So I gave it to my mom and dad. They were treated. They were like, okay, you can continue, you can do it, because as long as it was for the right cause. So they said I can go on with it. But when I was preparing for my exam, they had to call me. I was like, you have to really concentrate on your studies, so that when results is out, you go like, yes, I did that, stuff like that. So by the time I came back, I was like, I had to start training over again because ideas were lost. Especially when I had to come up with write-ups, and I was like, what should I start from? Okay, where would I start from? So things were like that. Rhealyz Africa helped me in that by engaging me in so many trainings that really brought back that writing skill in a way.
Okay. So what are some of the lessons that you've learned during the course of advocacy?
I learned that you have to be passionate about it, because when discussing with some of my friends about advocacy, be like, what will I get? What is the benefit? Like they are after this personal benefit that really bring money to the table. And I'm like, it's not about. I said when I joined, I never joined based on money. I never joined based on the fact that to bring the monetary benefit and stuff like that. I joined based on my passion, based on the passion I had to be a voice for other girls out there who don't have the voice to speak, who are not given the opportunity to speak. And you have to be, one thing in advocacy that you have to be passionate about it. What you are passionate about advocacy, you have to be consistent. It's not like just like you're an advocate for a particular period of time and like I give up. I'm not interested again. No, like this must be this consistent, and you must be committed with it. You must be committed to advocacy. You
because as there are some times where you like talk to someone about it and they like the feedback you get from them can sometimes be so discouraging that like I wish I'd never said anything at first. But you can't just look at that and say you stop advocating. You have to go back and there are other people too you can talk to and they will also listen and you'll be able to get good feedback from them. So you have to be consistent, you have to be passionate, and you have to be committed to advocacy. So those are the three things that like I feel like help me grow in advocacy. Passion I add for advocacy, my interest in it, and the commitment I have towards it, and also being consistent. You don't have to just stop halfway because okay, I've advocated for over a year and there has not been any good result or good feedback, so I'll just stop there and I'll stop advocating. You have to just keep on advocating. One day you will just get the desired result. You will get the desired results in which you have been looking for. So you have to be passionate, you have to be interested in it, you have to be consistent, and you have to be committed to advocacy. So those are the things I think. Those are the things that kept me going, and things that those were the foundation for me. The passion I had, the interest and commitment and consistency to advocacy.
Okay, so even before you finished talking, so Pani too also talked about interest, like
Sorry, I can't hear what you're
continual.
saying. Like
You can
I
hear
can't hear what
me?
you're saying.
Okay, let me check. I think. It's 9 minutes. What about now? Hello, can you still hear me?
Sorry, I can't still hear what you're saying.
You can't. What about now? Hello, Feranmi.
I can't hear what you're saying.
You can't still hear. Wow. You should hear now. What about now?
I can't hear you still.
Mm, okay. Okay, so I guess it's a network thing from my end. Okay, but then I would love to confirm from the audience. If you can hear what I'm saying, please just send in your emojis. Let me see. If you can hear, please let me know by sending your favorite emoji so I'll be able to confirm. Um, Hello,
I
Feranmi.
can't hear you.
You can't. Wow.
I can't hear you.
Okay, this is the network. Okay, so I guess it's network issues from her. So let's continue our discussion. Okay, so far so good. We've been discussing of with our girl advocates of how they've been able to to balance the education and balance advocacy. And so far so good. I've been able to talk with Sopani from Zambia and Feranmi from Nigeria. And these are girls that are actually making waves when it comes to advocacy and when it comes to balancing doing well in the academics. Recently, the two of them just finished their senior secondary school education and they came out with mind blowing results. And these are girls who are taking their time, to focus on advocacy and even lend voice to the voiceless. And so far, so good. We've been really proud of them. We are really proud of them because the result was really nice. The result was mind blowing. They were able to balance it, and then is they were unable to give naysayers an opportunity for them to rant that, okay, because you left your academics and you went fully into advocacies, this is what you're getting for it, this is why you're having a bad result. But then it has also given hope to young girls that, you can have it all, you can balance it all, you can decide to do academics and do advocacy and also make it work. Okay, Chanda was meant to join us, but I guess due to network issues from our side, our end, she's unable to join in. And then we are actually going almost close to the end. I hope Feranmi will be able to fix our network so we can actually complete, so we can end the discussion for today. So far so good. She's just going to tell us about some of the challenges she has told us about some of the challenges she faced, with phones, with her parents, because they were actually fearing that she would be unable to balance it, of which she was able to, to keep it for a while and then focused on academics, then came out with flying colors in her results, and now gone back fully into advocacy. We love to see things like this. We love to see when young people devote their time to give voice, to the voiceless, and actually speak against the ills in our society. So, and okay, so Abana Absabe says to balance your advocacy and academics, you need to focus, lay foundation, be intentional, have a schedule, and then okay, I think Feranmi will be joining me now because of the network, so she'll be joining me here directly. So Feranmi, how are you doing?
Fine.
Don't mind this network, it's just doing anyhow. Okay, so we were just talking about how you're able to handle some of your limitations. You talked about your phone the other time. So how were you able to, do work with the phone and everything, even though it was giving you issues?
Okay, so sometimes when I have to come up with podcasts like audio versions, I use my phone, then set it to help me cross check. And since and when it cross checks, you'll be like okay, maybe they will set a date where I'll be able to come, then use the office phone and then stuff like that to just record and the video stuff. So I'll be able to come up, then I'll come up with the script first at home so that I don't just get that start preparing script at that moment. So I'll come up with the script at home. So when I just get it, very easy to just make the video and the podcast version of what I wrote.
Okay, so now we'll be rounding up now.
Yeah.
So, we have a lot of young people that want to go into advocacy,
Yes.
but due to some issues with their parents, their caregivers, or their guardians, they're unable to go fully into it. So, what advice would you give to them?
Okay. The advice I'll give to the caregivers or the girls who want
The
to-
girls.
Okay, I'll say like you have to show your passion. Yeah, you have to show that you're passionate about this, because when they start, oh, she's passionate about this, and they'll call you back and be like, are you really interested? Like when they see that passion, there's something that will like make them want to ask you more about it. Like they want to question you, though. They want to sit you down and start questioning that. Show more, do you know what you're going into? All those kind of questions like that. But when they see your passion and you're like, oh yes, I want to go into that. I know what to go into this for. So when they see your passion, when they see that passion, they'll see you that will make them want to release you or allow you to go into advocacy. So just showcase that passion that yes, I have the passion to advocate, to be a voice for other girls out there. And so when they see that passion, I think they will let you.
Okay, what about to the parents
To the
too?
parent, when your girl child comes up to you and say she wants to be an advocate, don't look at it as something that it's not meant for her. Like some parents be like, you are studying and you want to go into advocacy. How will you be able to balance the two? But because you are there as a parent to guide her through it. Yeah, because I knew when I started as an advocate, my parents were there to guide me, to support me, to tell me, okay, to mentor me that you have to balance the two. You can't just let one, like you are giving attention to one than the other. You have to place them, weigh them, and then balance the two together. So and also you support her. Because when she see that my parents are in support of this, that will give her more drive for what she wants to go for. That is the advocacy stuff. And then you have to believe in her. When she started, apart from her being able to, you believing in her that she's able to go for advocacy, so increase her self-esteem. Because her self-esteem will be high, and then she'll be able to, she'll feel confident in herself that she can do this. I'm going into advocacy. Will I be able to do it? Will I not be able to do it? But you showing that I support you on this, you showing that you believe in her, should that her self-esteem, she have this high self-esteem and self-confidence, and she'll be able to like forge ahead and go into advocacy.
Okay, so there are a lot, just like we've been talking about. I think you talked about some of your friends that you were trying to like tell them like the advocate way, but then they are telling you that money. So what advice do you give to them? Actually, a lot of people, most times, youths, young people nowadays, whenever it comes to doing things like that, they'll be like, okay, is it going to give me money? If it's not going to give me money, I'm not doing it. But then, if we don't speak one way or the other, one day it will be you.
Yeah.
It's a cycle, it moves.
Yes.
So if you don't talk about it today, it could be you that will be at the receiving end tomorrow. So what advice do you give to them that, okay, advocacy, it might not give you money today, it might not even give you money, but at least it is giving you opportunities through which you can even reach money. So what advice would you give to those people?
I feel like you don't have to, like, everything in life is not about money. There are some things, putting a smile on someone's face, like for me, putting a smile on someone's face, be there to help someone is like a fulfillment for me, because I'm there to like help the person out, to put a smile on the face, and then the person is smiling. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. So the reason why that person is smiling. So it's not, everything is not about money. There are some things you have to do that you don't have to think about the monetary benefit you gain from it. Yes, later when you join, there might be this monetary benefit you gain from it, but that should not be the basis why you are joining. It should not be a basis why because of the money I'm going to gain from it, that's why I'm going to join advocacy. But it should be because of, you want to like be the reason why another person smiles. You want to be like a solution provider for another person's problem. So it's not about the money. Money should not be the basis why you are joining advocacy, but being the reason why another person smiles, is being the solution to another person's problem. Like, I should think that should be the reason why you should join, not because of the money or because what you gain from it, to bring me money, I'll become rich and stuff like that, or I'll become popular. So when I'm into advocacy, everybody will know me as the advocate.
The thing
and
is
stuff like that.
about this advocacy of opinion, we're talking about passion. For some people, they feel like maybe if I should go into advocacy, like based on 1 or 2, somebody will know me. Before you know it now, I'll turn to influencer. I'll become a star and all. But then I feel getting your motives right from the beginning is the major thing. Yes, you could go into advocacy and who knows, you might actually see opportunity, get opportunities. Advocacy brings opportunities. That one is certain. But then these opportunities, what are you going to be doing with these opportunities? Will you be maximizing them to actually further your advocacy the more? Look at I started with Malala. Even though she's not an African, she's a Pakistani girl. But then when she was advocating for girls to be allowed to go to school, she never knew it was going to put her in harm's way.
Yes.
And eventually she got 3 bullets, one in her head, and it came out through her shoulder.
How did she survive?
And she was in coma for 3 days. 3 whole days. But then it was to be me, for example. I know for like 3 years I'll not go back to advocacy. I almost lost my life.
Allow you to go back, like you almost lost your life through this, and then
so
you're like, you want to go back to it again, and they're like, you're the only one I have.
Yes, so it was like I admire her resilience so much, and that this has just brought us to the fact that advocacy is passion. This passion still drove her to go back to do something about it. And today, look at the life she has changed. Look at the manifold opportunities she has created for women and girls, not only in our country, but around the world, supporting a lot of people. So I feel your motive for advocacy matters. Are you going to advocacy because you want to become a star or an influencer?
Because you want to earn money.
But I feel like when there's this kind of joy and fulfillment it actually brings when you are putting a smile on somebody's face.
Because when I was telling the person, I was like, it's a fulfillment for me when I'm the reason why another person smiles, not because the person after I finish helping the person and the person did not give me money, and I'm like, why did I even go and help this person at all? I'm like, the person smiles, I'm like, thank you for helping me out and stuff like that. I'm like, thank you, Jesus, I did something. I'm like, the reason why this person is smiling, not because I'm after the money, what I will gain after advocating, what I'll gain after helping, bringing a solution to another person's problem. So it's about the passion you have, about like that passion should be the drive for you, not the monetary benefit, what you gain from it. So that should be your point.
Okay. I see Madeline Mendy. Well done. Okay, thank you very much. Advocacy is passion. Yes, Madeline is also one of our advocates in Zambia, and she has been doing well so far, so good. Okay, Debbie's vlogger says it's also serve as a role model to TOH. Okay, I don't really know what TOH is, so it will be nice. Okay, there's no money. There's no money in advocacy. Exactly, there is no money. It's just the fulfillment.
Yeah,
The fulfillment it brings when you say that.
But
Okay,
many people will be after the money. Like, how would I gain? What is the money? Like, will
yes.
it fetch me money?
I think
But
that is the major problem that we are having these
people
days
going into
with people going into advocacy. A lot of people are going to advocacy for the wrong reasons, and when they meet a wall, when they meet a barrier, they turn back,
Like,
and then there's just like what they've been building, the hopes they've been building in people, everything just crashes. So Debbie's vlog says it serves as a role model to others who might want to follow that path. There's this cousin of mine that came visiting. Seeing me close to camera gives her this joy. Once she sees my phone, you see her. Okay. Yeah. So advocacy also, it also builds confidence.
yes,
It builds a lot
because
of
when you
things.
face, when there are times you have to face crowd, and then you like at first when I started facing crowds, like there was this. I don't know that I could not face the crowd, but there was this like never able to face. I felt a bit. My heart started beating. I'm like, oh, this and that, and by the time I got into advocacy, it was so easy for me to face the crowd and like talk to people, not being shy and be like, will I be able to talk to them? But how will I speak the English? How would I those kind of stuff? But when you keep going, when you keep advocating, like you get used to it and you get used to seeing faces, especially those ones that be like there's some faces you will see and be like so discouraging. But one thing I learned is that when it comes to advocacy, like one of the things I started with was not looking at their faces when I'm talking. So I don't look at their heads, or I'm looking at the door in front of me. So I don't look at their heads or to see their reaction. What I don't look at, I make sure I pass the message on to them because there are some things that will be discourage you and you'll be like, shut up, what to say next because of it. Many people are staring at you. So you just look over their heads and go on with your message, pass your message. As they're looking at you, they're getting the message. It's not that they're not getting the message, but they want to discourage you away from going further. When you are like able to overcome that, the message is passed and
In fact, do you know some people don't even want to discourage you, but just the joy on their faces and they want to smile, and that smile in itself can be so distracting.
Yes.
So you just have to like look beyond that.
Yeah.
But then as time goes on, you even be able to look at their faces, read their emotions, be in tune with their emotions, and you'll be able to, to give what you want to give. Okay, so I think we'll be waiting for Chanda. Chanda, she wants to try again, and I hope her network will be favorable to us this particular time. So, what are some of the challenges that girls face in this community?
Yeah, there are a whole lot.
Okay.
A lot of challenges. Like we have rape, we have female genital mutilation, as I said earlier. We have this low self-esteem that I can't do it. I'm a girl child. Like the boy child is meant to be leading. Well, I'm meant to be the backup. Like let me just be following at the
Behind.
back. So there's this low self-esteem. There's this loss of self-confidence. I don't believe in myself. I can't do it. And also there's we have rape, we have child marriage, where parents prefer to give out their girl child into marriage for just something that will last not for a long period of time, maybe
Something
money,
ephemeral,
maybe
yeah.
200,000, and then they're like they're satisfied with that as long as the child brought in money. And also we have girl child education, where girls are denied their rights to right to education. They believe that she will end up in the kitchen. But there have been women and girls in our generation and back beyond who have proven that a girl child do not have to end up in the kitchen. Like we have Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, we have Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti, and so many others. They did not end up in the kitchen because they made impact in the world. They broke the glass ceiling, and so there's this low self-esteem, child marriage, loss of self-confidence, female genital mutilation, rape, and so many other challenges that the girl child faces.
Okay, I think was it 2 weeks ago that we actually celebrated the International Day of Zero Tolerance against Female Genital Mutilation, and I think was today before the show started. There's this girls cap project we do for girls in Ondo State, and I think one of the focus of the discussion today was about female genital mutilation. And I actually, because I wasn't in the class, I just overheard a contribution from the girl talking about how the society, or she was actually educating people about female genital mutilation, and then the older person in her home was telling her that that female genital mutilation, no, it is valid.
It's valid, it's good.
That it is valid. That's because it is helping girls not to be promiscuous and the like. So what, okay, can you like give like a brief rundown about female genital mutilation and the effect it has on girls?
Okay, female genital mutilation is like the partial or total cutting of the female genitalia or the external part of the female reproductive organ. So we have three types. We have the clitoridectomy, we have excision, infibulation, and other types like piercing, cutting. And one of the types include when the skin of the vagina is cut off, like part of it is cut off, and that is when they are stitching it, part of it is being cut off. While some, the clitoris is being removed because they say that like there's a part in the reproductive organ that gives this sexual urge. So they say that part is being removed so that the girl will not have any sexual urge for softs like that, like she won't be promiscuous. And then the other one is when the clitoris with or without removal of the labia minora and the labia majora. One infibulation is the stitching of the vagina. Then they will leave a very small opening just for the passage of blood during a menstrual period and for urine, passage of urine. Then the others are like piercing, pricking, and cauterizing. When I checked the meaning of cauterizing, I was like, wow, so this is done to a female. Like,
Okay, would you care to share the
like,
meaning?
when a part is bleeding, then a like another substance is used to burn the place so as to stop bleeding. I was like, wow, so this is done to someone's reproductive organ. I was like even if you just put your hand in fire, you know the pain you go through. Not talk of you using fire to burn that sensitive part of, and I was like, this has to stop. So, and some of the effects on the girl child is that there's this bleeding, and sometimes it leads to death. That is the most painful part of it, because some girls cannot like withstand the pain that they are going through at that moment they have been circumcised. So some end up like let me just end it there. Let me just give up, and then they end up dying. And sometimes when they say that it prepares woman for womanhood, but when I look at the things that will happen to the woman after she has gotten married, because they were like one of the FGM survivor stories I had, I was almost crying because it was so painful when she said there was no sexual urge. Thank God she had an husband who was understanding. So they said there was no sexual urge. She was even telling her, thank God she even told her husband before the marriage. I'm sure if she had told her husband after, maybe the marriage would have dissolved. So but thank God she told her husband, and her husband was this understanding person, because I'm sure the husband was this kind of person that would not have married her based on their beauty or stuff like that, but based on the love he had for her. So he was understanding, and then was able to help her through the journey, even though the man would try to initiate it, but there was nothing, she felt nothing about it, and she was like just telling the mothers that they should not do that on their girl child, because it does not even prepare the girl child for any woman. Instead, it prepares her for more problem during a marriage and later in future. Because also there's this other effect about doing childbirth. There's this complication she ends up, because especially when infibulation is performed on the woman, because they have to remove the stitches, and then after that they will have to sew it back again, and then it's like, and during the process some flesh are being cut off, and so the pain that the woman will go through, and sometimes not being able to deliver due to the fact that she was being circumcised, and then look at the pain, and they'll be like, because they don't want the child to be promiscuous, even if the child is being mutilated, and if she wants to be promiscuous, she will be promiscuous. It's a thing of the mind. Like something. It's not because you mutilate her, she will not be promiscuous. So it's a thing of the mind for her not to be promiscuous, to keep herself. So you mutilating her won't solve that issue of her not being promiscuous or stuff like that.
Okay, so I think one of the news about FGM broke the net, was it like 2 days ago, about this woman that was infibulated when she was young, I think as early as 8 years old.
Yes.
And then she had to get married, and then the husband was not as understanding as he should be, because the doctor actually told them, you can't penetrate through, we have to remove this through surgery. And it was like, it's a shame on him as a man, if his wife has to go under the knife to get the stitches removed, that he has to open it himself. And then when he did, it actually caused the woman to continue passing urine
Yes.
uncontrollably for 2 months before a corrective surgery was done. So you can imagine that kind of pain. And then some people will still go further to tell you that it is because it is preventing a woman from being promiscuous and all. So it is really outrageous, and this is why we keep talking about, advocacy. Advocacy as it has everything to do with passion. It has everything to do with you wanting to help people. It has everything to do with you wanting to create opportunities that you didn't have for people that are coming, so that they could have a better life or a better chance at life and education itself. So this is why Realize Africa keeps creating this opportunity, for young people. Like, because most times they say we are the future of, how they say,
And eventually that's up
well, we are the future,
tomorrow.
but we are no longer the future leaders of tomorrow, not the future leaders of today, because we have to keep talking. If we are the ones that are going to be on the panels of discussions in few years to come, if we're going to be the policymakers in few years to come, then we have to educate ourselves about a lot of these ills going on in the society that a lot of people think are norms, but meanwhile they are not
No
norms.
norms.
They are inhumane policies. So we have to keep like speaking against them, so that get there tomorrow, you'll be able to, present a better of life better for a lot of people. So this is why we are doing this. And unfortunately, Chan was unable to join us for today's episode. Although we look forward to having her on the next episode. And by then, hopefully, the network wouldn't be an issue. And so far, so good. Okay, our audience have been doing justice, giving us motivations and a lot of comments. Okay, Madeline said everybody needs to understand that advocacy is not trying to encourage rights for only the girl child, but equal rights for all. That is why I'm a strong fan of the men for women. Yeah, a lot of times when you see people advocating, so they keep saying, "Yeah, is it because people are always advocating for what to benefit you?" No, it is not only going to be beneficial to us, but everybody.
Even some will be like, it's for the girl, like it does not concern me, the girl child now. I'm a guy, so what's my business with that? But I'm like, one day you will get married. You give
Yeah.
birth to children. So
Yeah.
what when you give birth to a girl child, like, and your grandmother comes out like, I want to perform FGM on your daughter. See, based on the fact that you've heard about like FGM is not right, it's not supposed to be performed on her, then you'll be able to stand up as a man, as the head of the family, that, oh, you can't do this to my daughter because I've had right from a youthful age that it's right, it is wrong, and must not be done on any girl child. So everyone is involved in advocacy. No one is left out, both the young, the old, boy, girls, men, women, everyone is supposed to be involved in advocacy because it's not only meant for one gender, it is for everybody. It is not just for girl child, because one day you get married for sure. You give birth to
Yeah.
children and everything. So you'll be able to stand up for your child and things like that.
Okay, so it has really been an exciting show today, although the network wanted to, kill our vibes, but then, we're able to triumph and overcome. So then, okay, so it has brought us to the end of today's show. +234 081 3311 0479 +231 +234 081 3311 0479. That's it is displayed on the on the comments box. So you can also do well to follow us. We appreciate the Global Campaign for Education and Agents of Change Foundation Youth Reporter in Zambia for their support, of which Chanda is a member, although she was unable to come more about it. So also we would love you to join with us and also communicate with us. And if this has really helped you, we would love to see your comments. Okay, Abana, we are no longer the future leaders of tomorrow, we are the future leaders of today. Yes. So we need to do more, do better. Okay. I think we also have one from Madeline, she says, tell them more louder, please. Okay, I see you, Madeline. And of course, we are telling them. And we hope you have not only learned today, but you're also planning to actually go out there and, share what you've learned with people. And with this from us, we say of yourself until next time. It's Ayomide and Feranmi from Rhealyz Africa.
Bye.